So this is going to be take 722 of the farm expense and tracker calculator. But anyways, this is Leigh with Still Raven Farms. This is hands down probably the best tracker that I have created in terms of saving time and money. We do not use an accountant because we're cheap. But we do send all of our we send all of our documents to a tax person and have them handle our taxes. But this is what I send them. Um, there are a couple of housekeeping things that we're going to talk about first. Number one, do not touch anything in these gray boxes. I know, I know. If you're anything like me, being told not to do something means that you are absolutely going to do it. But what I'm going to tell you is this: when you start messing with these gray boxes, what happens is it messes up the calculations, and you are going to end up calling me, emailing me, messaging me, contacting me somehow and say, hey, this isn't working. Why is it not working? And the very first question that I'm going to ask you is, did you touch a gray box? And you're going to go, I did. And I'm going to go, there it is. That's the issue. So do me a favor, do yourself a favor, do not touch these gray boxes. It will solve everybody's problems almost right out of the gate. Right? So that's number one. Number two is always, 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 always make a copy. Every single time, make a copy. Don't sit there and try to start editing within this particular tracker, because what will happen is you are going to show every single person who buys this all of your expenses. You're going to show them everything. That may not be what you want to do. But the other thing that you're going to do when you do that is, if you put in gas, oil, repairs, all this stuff right here, the next person that goes to download this can't. They can't use it because they have to go through and delete all of your stuff. So what you're going to do is you're going to come up here to File. You're going to click Make a Copy. And you're going to name it whatever it is that you want to name it. Usually mine is 2022, 2023, 2024, whatever it is. Farm expenses. And then you're just going to click Make a Copy. Now, I already have a copy made, and it's right here. I went ahead because I have done this multiple times today. I've already started to fill it out. And so I'm just going to kind of go over that with you. So the very first thing that you're going to do is you're going to gather up after you've already made a copy and realize we are not touching the gray boxes, is you're going to gather up all of your expenses, your receipts, your bank statements, whatever it is, you're going to gather all of those up, and you're going to start kind of divvying through them. And you're going to say, okay, in January I spent this much money on gas, this many in repairs. I bought these chemicals. I did, I hired out this particular job. Like, so if you had a greenhouse built, you would put, greenhouse, and you would put, it cost me $6,000, whatever it is. And then you're just going to kind of keep coming through. I paid, Jim Bob, $250 this month, right? And that's what you're going to do. And you're going to keep coming down. And so let's say I took the goats to the vet for, one of them miscarried and I spent $250. And then veterinary expenses also includes meds. So I spent, let's see, vaccines. I spent, $150 on vaccines. And then you come down here and feed purchases. So, you're going to sit there and say, okay, well, in the month of January, I spent, I don't know why that said purchases. I spent $900 in feed. Oop, that's on the date. Hold on, stand by. $900 in feed. And then I turned around and I bought hay and I spent $1,500. Right. And you're going to go through and you're going to pull all of this stuff over, right? Supplies, utilities, other expenses. You're going to take all of that. You're going to input all of that into your expense column, and it's going to automatically pull everything over here. That's pretty friggin' amazing because you don't have to work on totals anymore. That was the worst part about filling out this expense form, was constantly trying to figure out how much money, like I have to tabulate, plus, and you just see that total rising. And it's frustrating because if you miss something, you got to go back through all of those receipts again. Let's not do that. Let's make this a little bit more easy, or a little easier, excuse me. Then you're going to come over here to income. Now you can do this in whatever order you want. It doesn't matter as long as you are bringing in all of these totals and all this income. So for January, let's just say I sold triplets. I sold them for $800. I sold, one twin for $250. That helps me keep track of who got sold with what and how and all that stuff. So you're going to put all that in, and then you're going to say, okay, bought I bought 2 goats, 50 chickens, and let's say 10 ducks, just for round figures. And we're going to say that you spent, let's say, $400 on the goats, you spent another $400 on the chicken, and then you spent, let's say, $200 on the ducks. And see how it pulls everything over? And bam, right there, cost of livestock. And then let's say I'm a part of a local farmers market, and let's just group this all together. Week 1, I made $1,000. Week 2, I made $200. Week 3, I made $600, and it pulls everything over, right? You can do the same thing with distribution. I don't have ag program payments or commodity crop. I don't have any of that. Let's see, custom hire. So I offer coaching, and this is how I can bring that income into and see where it's coming from, and then also any other income that we want to bring onto the farm and show as an income for the farm. So that could be, if you YouTube, it could be ad or monetizing for that. If you work on cars, it could that kind of thing. You can, or work on, not cars, if you work on tractors, that would be something that you could put in here. And then it's all going to total up over here. And you do that every single month, right? And you just start rolling through your months. And then at the end, it pulls everything over and you can start to see your totals. Now, the big thing that the IRS wants to see is not your monthly totals. They do not care. You have to be able to prove your monthly totals and your year-end total, but you do not need to sit there and tell the IRS every single part and piece of every single month. What they really care about is this column right here. That is your totals. So when you get your Schedule F or your Schedule C or your whatever it is that you're using, these are the totals that you're going to put into this worksheet, or you're going to have your accountant or tax person put into this worksheet. This is hands down by far probably the easiest way to do this that I have found yet. And then personally, what I want to start tracking is how much money I spent every month, right? And this total is going to be how much money I spent on my expenses. It does not count my income. That is this total. So all of my income for the month of January was just, say, $5,300. And then you would just kind of move it through and start tracking how much money you actually made for the year. And then the same thing for this, how much money you actually spent for the year. This is invaluable if you are farming, especially if you are trying to farm for profit. You have to know how much money you're spending. Farming is the only thing that makes absolutely no sense in the business world, because you are expected to buy things at retail value and sell them at wholesale value. And most of the time you're lucky if you break even. It's just the reality. But there are ways that you can prove that you produce an income. There are ways that you can show all of your expenses. And this is probably hands down the easiest way to do this. I have created and tried multiple trackers. And this has been the one that I have used steadily for the last couple of years. And it is the best that I can find. It is the best that I have ever created. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'm uploading this onto my YouTube channel so that more people can see it. I will leave links for where you can buy it. You can buy it off of Etsy, or you can buy it off of my website. If you buy it off of my website, I'm actually going to link to the ThriveCart page, which is basically just my checkout page for my website. So I'm just going to send you straight there, make it super easy on yourself and me, to be honest with you. But yeah, that's about it. Like I said, this is probably, as simple as it is easily the best thing I've created, second to like my kids, I think. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. I appreciate it. Y'all have a good day.